my beautiful and lovely friends, this is Miriam again. How are you doing? How's nursing at school going on? So I hope you guys are doing fabulous and you're ready for another tip, okay? Today's tutorial is requested by one of my YouTube friends. Her name is, her or his, I'm sorry, I don't know, dpatel65. Well, basically, she asked me, or he asked me, what are my tips about how to stay focused or how to take notes. So I'm going to cover these two things today, and I hope I wouldn't have a long video. Okay, how to stay focused. Well, sometimes you can do everything right. You can study ahead, you can be on time, and you can be totally prepared for the class, and you couldn't focus, and you shouldn't blame yourself. I will give you a couple of the examples. Well, this happened to me. I was just prepared. I was just, all over the place, and I read everything. I was just so ready. When I go to the class, my instructor, he was wearing a new pants or whatever, and his zip was down. God, I couldn't focus. It was just so hard to focusing. So whole entire class, I couldn't focus in what he was telling us. Or another example was, it was during the Christmas time, and I was just sitting in one of those theater classes, and the person who was sitting in front of me, she was shopping online, and she was looking at those boots, and I couldn't focus in the class, and I was like, ooh, that's cute, I want that, how much is it? Or, a person that's sitting close to you, it's constantly texting, and she just doesn't want to listen. So it's just really hard to focus. Well, in those cases, you can always change your place, okay? I mean, if the person's around you is not going to listen, well, be really polite and tell them that, hey, you're not comfortable. And if they didn't change, then there's not much that you can do. You can just go and change your place and sitting in front, sitting somewhere that people are listening, or you can focus easier. But the best way, in my opinion, of being really, really focused is to study ahead. Well, I will give you an easy example and, an understandable example. Like if you ask me, hey, Miriam, go and sit in the quantum physics class, which I have absolutely no idea. If I just showed up, if I just go to the class, I would get bored from the first second of the class and I would not understand anything because, I have absolutely no clue about quantum physics. But if you tell me, okay, Miriam, go and look some videos online and read a little bit about quantum physics, be familiar with different orbits or atoms, behavior in space or whatever, then go to the class. And when I go to the class, I have some clue about what's going on. And when the instructors start talking, my brain tries to connect the material that I learned in online or I learned from reading with the material that my instructor is talking about. So I will stay focused without any effort, so because my mind try to connect those information together and see how those information are connected. So effortlessly, I would stay focused during the whole time. But as I said, sometimes you shouldn't blame yourself. Sometimes something is horribly wrong with your teacher's outfit or with the person that is sitting close to you, or your instructor is not familiar with the topic. She had absolutely no clue what she's talking about. She's not even familiar with the terminology. She was a very good nurse in another field. Now she's teaching something that's totally unrelated to her field, and she didn't have the time to prepare. Now she's just reading from the PowerPoints, and you get the clue. So in those cases, just bring whatever you have and read in the class. Don't waste your 2 hours of your life to listening to someone who doesn't have any clue about, about her PowerPoints and stuff like that. So that was about staying focused. Now about reading. About taking notes. So about taking notes, I have to split you guys in two parts. Part one is the group that they have a time and they study, and part two is the group that they do not have a time to pre-study or study ahead. So for group one that they study, the best thing for you guys is first of all, you read the notes, you probably watch a couple of the videos online. Now you're ready to read the book, right? And you're in the class, your instructor is talking about those PowerPoints. Your job is to have a book in front of you and look at the stuff that she's talking about in her PowerPoints and try, and for example, she's talking about the UTI, right? So you have your book open from the UTI chapter or urinary tract infection, and you will try to connect the material that is in the book and you already learned from the notes or from the YouTube and stuff like that. You're trying to connect those to the book, okay? And you're at the same time highlighting stuff that you think they are important, and your teachers spend time in explaining them, okay? So your whole job when you're in the class is try to start reading the book. How about that? Okay, so you're trying to make yourself comfortable by reading the book. And psychologically, if you actually highlight a couple of the things in the book, and when you open your book, you will think relief, and you will think, oh, I knew this material, I actually read them before, I have these highlights here. So you will start reading this book a lot easier than the time that you have absolutely no clue, when you just open your book and it's just the new pages and there is no highlights there is no notes around. So this is about that. So if you are studying ahead, try to connect the material together when you're in the class. The material that it's on the PowerPoints you learned by watching videos, and the material that it's in the book. Now you're in the group 2. You have absolutely no clue what's going on, and you're working full time. There's no time. Sometimes life is tough. There's no time we cannot be perfect. I mean, we actually forget that goal to be perfection is long time ago, right? When we start nursing school, we have to lower our expectation. So in this case, as I brought one of the examples of my notes, that I actually took these notes during the maternity class, because I was working 35 hours and there was absolutely no way to study ahead. However, I tried to watch a couple of the videos. I would search the topic that my instructor is going to talk about on the YouTube to at least get an idea, But what I did was, you can see this green, green markers. I would write whatever that my instructor is talking about, the topic, right? For example, she will say placenta, abruptio placenta, okay? I would write this topic at the top, and I will write whatever I am understanding from the notes, from the videos that she's showing to me, from her lecture, whatever I'm understanding, whatever I'm hearing, down below, okay? And of course you have to record your instructor as well, because you will miss something, so you should have your instructor voice just in case, right? And then when I go home, I will open my notes and I will try to connect this material to the book to see, okay, so she talks about this in her PowerPoint, where in the book I can find this material, or how I can connect this information together, okay? The whole point of getting a note is to have a clue how and where you can find information, okay? Because 2 hours is not enough to understand, memorize, and learn. 2 hours is just to get familiar. 2 hours of the lecture, you will go to the class to get familiar with this stuff, to know how you can find those information, okay? So that was all of my tips. I hope this tips is going to help you guys, and please, please, please feel free to chime in the comments and tell me what are your tips about to be focused, and what are your note-taking strategies, because I'm just one person, I have just one experience, but all of us together, we have so many experience, don't we, sorry. And I hope you liked my video. Please subscribe me, and if you think my video is going to help you guys, please share it with your friends, and share your thoughts and feelings down below, and I have a video about how to read the book. I will put the comments down below. So I wish you the best, and bye bye.